Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be covering one of my favorite SEO tools that I use for both client SEO and affiliate SEO. Now, this is the SEO Content Editor. This is going to be my review and my experiences using it to outsource content. And you might be surprised how some writers react to getting a content editor link. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Make sure to stay towards the end of the video, and that's where I'm going to explain my experiences and really the costs, because time is money when it comes to using this tool, and writers are starting to understand that. But let's get started with this tutorial first. So for this tutorial, what I'm going to do is use a query that's local. Okay, so I'm going to do auto glass repair, and as you can see, there's a lot of locations. I'm in the US, so I'm going to choose the United States. I can do that, or I can do by city, which is something rather new by Surfer. So let's choose Fresno. I want to rank for auto glass repair in the city of Fresno. So let's go ahead and click the create button here, and it's going to load up here. All right, it is good to go. Let's click on it. All right, so here we are. We're going to configure what the content writer is going to see once they get their content editor. But first, with any SEO on-page tool, you have to choose the competitors that you're going to be going up against. And that's the first section in this customization window. Pages to include. Which one of these are we going to use, or is Surfer going to use, to analyze and then produce a guide for the writer? I usually uncheck all these selected boxes by default, and then I check them out individually. But first, I'm not going to be trying to compete. Yes, I want to beat Yelp, but I'm not trying to compete with it or create equivalent content. If you know Yelp, it's not really a content website. It's more of like a review website / directory. But what I will do is check out these top 3 competitors following it. I'll check out this here, this one, and this one in a separate window. And you can see that the words are somewhat all over the place. This number 2 guy is ranking at 1,500 words, then 565, and then 1,061 words. So let's check out this one. This actually seems like a directory. It kind of looks like a directory, but it's actually a local business, so I will include this one. Google likes it for some reason. So let's go ahead and move on to the second one. And this is a competitor, a local competitor, so I will include this one. And then this is a third competitor. I think this one should be included as well. There's a good amount of content here. So because these first 3 competitors were actually qualified, and if I were working with a client that wanted to rank for this keyword, these would be my selected competitors that were actually ranking, doing pretty well, then I would select them and click Save Changes. Before I do that, check this word section out. Right now, it's by default suggesting 1265 words for this article, because by default there was 1 through 5 selected. But that's not how you should use this tool. You should choose your competitors very carefully, or you can essentially get out the gates quite poorly and perform bad. So let's click Save Changes, and you see that the actual recommended word count is 1,042 to 1,199. The content writer is going to see this as well. And then it tells you how many heading tags that it recommends based off the competitors, how many paragraphs it recommends, how many bold words, and how many images to include based off the competitors that we've chosen here. In the next section, you'll see the primary keywords and your other terms and secondary keywords, which you can adjust as well. If I were to click on the natural wind screen, that would go away. If I wanted to re-add it, I would have to type in national windscreen, or actually it's suggesting it here, this first one. And as you can see, it gives you a list of other terms that can be considered secondary keywords. But for this one, I'm just going to leave it alone. Usually that's what I do. And then it gives other suggestions such as topics and questions to answer for this particular search query. And since this is a Fresno location keyword, you see this one here. This is a question. Is it free to replace a window or windshield in Florida? I'm just going to X that out because that's irrelevant to this geolocation target. And then this next part is actually the note section, which I consider to be like a little mini brief section where I tell the writer, basically give them additional resources. Things that I include here are resources / links, and I list them out like this: outbound, link instructions, okay, and then I list them out, of course, and then main competitor, notes, and then what else do I do? Internal link instructions. Oh, one last thing I almost forgot. I always put an outline here and an objective. So I'll tell them, and this is just me, you guys can do it a different way that you want. H3 and H2, H2. This is depending on how you want to outline it. I would recommend using the SERP analyzer to outline your outlines. The reason I say that is because this is the SERP analyzer, by the way. I'll leave a review tutorial video link below based off the competitors here. This is the search results for the keyword. If you click on the explore text and more elements, it'll tell you their header tag structure. And I usually just take the average of the three, put them in a spreadsheet, compare them, and then create my own equivalent. So that's how I do my outline there, and I include it here. And then article objective. That's just me. You can be a little bit less picky with what you put in here. And then you click on the finalize customization here. All right, so now that we've chosen our competitors and we've done any custom adjustments that we want our article or our content writer to know when they're writing this article for us, this is what they're going to see. Let me explain what's going on here a little bit. On the left-hand side, this is the content area. This is your normal text editor. It's similar to Google Docs to where you can bold things, italicize things, you can hyperlink, add images, etc., etc. You can also do heading 2 tags, right? So that's the content editor. On the right-hand side, this is what your writer will also see. They're going to see that the primary search term is auto glass repair. This is the note section. The H1 I would say would be auto glass repair Fresno. And for some reason, it starts off the title as your keyword, all lowercase, except the first word. Anyway, it'll tell them the content structure, meaning they have to hit at least 1042 words. They have to have 8 headings, at least 5 paragraphs, bolded words, and at least 7 to 11 images. And now here is the big time saver, because essentially the writer is doing the keyword density of the target keyword plus all of the secondary terms and variations. Now these keywords start auto-filling once I start writing content. So let's just say this first header tag was about auto glass repair. We're number 1. Auto glass repair can be a pain because it's hard to find. And as you can see, the auto glass has turned green on my right hand side. It's hard to find qualified windshield repair professionals with great customer service. Okay, so as you can see, just by doing that one sentence, it's already telling me that the keyword density for customer service, it's good to go. It's only used once. Autoglass, only used once. So as the content writer keeps on writing, they're going to be adjusting for keyword density of these keywords. So that's really good, and it's all based off the competitors that you've chose in the customization step, which, by the way, you can always adjust by clicking this customize button. And now I think you can see why we did not include Yelp.com. If we were to have included Yelp.com, it would have thrown off all of the important terms to use section. The keyword densities would be off of what Google really wants. Okay, next up is the topics and questions to answer, and it tells the writer here, try to plan the article to cover those topics. Consider using them as headings, which is actually a good suggestion. This can actually be answered in H3s, maybe H2s, and that's probably something that I would have included in the outline as well in the notes section. And the last part here is other relevant terms that they can use if they want. And as you can see, they get crossed out as well. closed, qualify. The final part of this that I want to share with you guys is how the actual sharing works. Now, it's very easy. All you have to do is click this copy link button, and let's go to an incognito window and open it up. And as you can see, you can just give this to a writer and they can start writing right off the bat without you having to have or provide login information to your Surfer SEO account. Okay, so now that you know how to use the content editor and how to share it with your content writer, you should know that really what you're doing is transferring a lot of work that you as the SEO used to do onto the content writer. And the content writer, even though this tool is somewhat new, it will recognize eventually that they're spending more time writing their your content. It's not like before where you just give them a traditional content brief and just tell them, here's the main keyword, the outline, and sprinkle these somewhere within the article, these other keyword variations. This is very specific and very on page. I wouldn't say super intensive, but it is laborious. It'll take them more time. And a lot of content platforms and freelance writers, from my experience, have been not complaining really, but just raising their prices. So what I'm going to show you here is an example of SEO Content Hero. I know them because I went to the Chiang Mai SEO conference this year, and they were one of the featured companies. Now let's go ahead and click Order Content. Let's go ahead and click Authority, the Authority option. And let's say our article, which was required, to be 1,042 words. 1,042 words will cost me $67 roughly. But if I want it SEO optimized with Surfer SEO, that's going to be extra, and it's going to cost me $119. So that's an add-on of $52.10. So I haven't used SEO Content Hero with Surfer's SEO add-on yet, but I will tell you that other platforms such as SEO Butler, their content team is planning something very similar to SEO Content Hero here, because SEO Content Hero has discovered that the writers can't pump out these content articles like they used to if people are just sharing the content editor link. So I want to give you that fair warning. If you are going to be using content editor to outsource to writers or writing platforms such as this, you're eventually going to have to pay a little bit more. If you want to unload a lot of the on-page work from yourself to the writer and have a more prepped article, that's going to cost you more. But you can always just pay the normal amount to any writing company or freelancer and then do the on-page optimization yourself. That's going to take you, I don't know, roughly half an hour to an hour, depending on how fast you do Surfer SEO's true density audit. So it's really up to you on how you want to use the content editor. You can always use the content editor, by the way, to write content yourself. So that's it for today, guys. That's my video. Make sure to check out my other Surfer SEO review and tutorial videos in the description below. And if you haven't tried Surfer yet, you can do so for just $1 for the next 7 days. The link is in the description as well. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I will see you on the next one.